What up, y'all? This is Alex, and we are doing Lifestyles of the Casual today. This is the 7th of 8 tracks from the Lifestyles of the Laptop Café. So let's go ahead and get going. Like the rest of the tracks, we're going to start off by having the volume rise in with the beat already going. We're going to have a kick. This is 808, by the way, 808 drum set. So we're having a kick happen with hats that are rising in volume. The hats are playing 16th notes and then getting a little bit of a stutter here by increasing the decay. I'm pretty sure that's how it's done at least. And yeah, let's get going. Cool. So a couple things to note real quick. I think it's neat how the kick starts on a 4 on the floor beat, as you can see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. But then eventually, after this pad starts to come in, and this pad's just kind of like a nice droney sort of pad. But after this pad enters, you're going to notice the kick is going to change its pattern. You can see it right here. Instead of just being 4 on the floor, they're going to have this like hesitant kick that happens every 2 bars. But yeah, the hats are going to stay the same. Eventually we're going to get this bass line coming in. I think it's safe to say this is the simplest bass line of the album, at least of the first 7 tracks so far. It's just playing these 3 notes, dum, da-dum, and it's just going to do that for the rest of the track, this bass line. No, we're not going to have a prominent A and B section here like we've had in some of the other tracks. But yeah, so as the beat gets going, bass line enters the game, pad keeps going, the snare is now going to enter, and then we're eventually going to have some chords come in as well. This track's very straightforward, so not a whole lot to go over here. Cool, so real quickly, we're getting another call and response. We've had, I think, a few call and responses to this album, at least a prominent one that we did recently. But so these chords are going to start playing on a more consistent basis. So at the beginning, they just happen once, and it looks like about, what is that, about 4 or 8 bars later they play. But now they're going to be playing every 4 bars. And then this twirly synth's going to come in to act as like a response to those chords. And they're going to keep happening. You're going to get some variation by the way that this twirly synth is played. It's going to sound different because they're either using like filter or messing with the ADSR. You'll just hear a difference. Let's just breeze through it real quick and you'll hear some. Yeah, you can really hear that difference on these first 2. But yeah, so that's cool, and the beat's just going to keep cruising as these things alternate. Eventually we're going to get this like scraggly synth coming in. That's going to add some more variation. And let's listen for that. So as is seen in a lot of these other people place tracks, once they get the established groove going with all the elements at play, which is what's happening right here, because if you see in the track, based off everything I've laid out, this is the whole thing, more or less, right here. All the elements are playing. It's then common to maybe start dropping out some drums, which happens here with the snare. Once this happens, you just have more space to listen to the other elements because, that snare takes up a lot of the mix. And, it's just a cool way to hear these elements in a new sort of way because we're hearing it without that snare. And up until this point, we've had the snare in while most of these other elements are in. So as we keep listening, they're just going to modulate in and out like we've been over in basically all of the 6 previous tracks by dropping out some elements, bringing some elements back in. No big chord changes or anything here. And there's also no vocal sample in this song. And that's just kind of cool to note because most of the tracks in this album have a nice vocal sample, but this one does not. So yeah, let's keep going. So we're getting another little breakdown, sort of like rest here. And again, I said it was common for drums to drop out. So once again, the snare drops out here. And now you're mostly just getting to appreciate this bass line with just a sprinkle of scraggly and with a couple of the twirly synths. Now I think this is cool because before in our other breakdown, we still had the bass line, but we still had the pad. So this time in this little breakdown, we don't have the pad. And so we've never really had just bass line, hat, kick, with scraggly synth and with twirl synth. So because we haven't had that combination before, this seems unique and interesting. And so we just keep listening and it's cool. And then after that, they're just gonna go back into the main beat for a while with this call and response here, scraggly, then fade it out. It's very straightforward, this track. And I'm just not going into more detail because as this is part of a series on the entire album, you will have seen these tricks happening already many times if you've watched the other videos, and I have briefly touched on them here too. But yeah, let's just keep listening, and we're really almost done. There you go, and the track fades just like normal. So pretty cool. Name of the game is get a really nice loop, be able to repeat it while dropping certain elements out, bringing certain elements back in, and you've got a cool track. I guess I will take a couple moments to comment on some of the sound design stuff, because I know y'all always want me to do that, and I'm cool doing it in a very macro way, because I feel like for this track, I just want to, let's just like listen to a couple things. First off, listen to the pad here. We'll do it over, we'll find a spot where it's playing by itself. This pad is just kind of droning. It does sound like another note might come in every now and again, but this has a nice phaser or flanger, something like that on it, maybe even a small chorus. It's just giving it this nice modulation as it goes through. But hear how it's just slowly morphing, slowly modulating. So if you're in Ableton, you can grab a flanger. You probably want to set your phase to 0, because this whole album is pretty much mono. So by setting it to 0, that will make this effect be in mono, and then you can just move this around until you're happy with it. But yeah, that's a little cool trick they're doing. Or it's either that or a phaser, I'm pretty sure. Same thing, you bring the phase down to 0 degrees if you want to keep it mono. Move this around, mess with all the knobs to tune it in. Another cool thing at the bass, let's listen for that for a second. So I like how it goes do do do, but this note in particular, this last one, kind of like either just echoing off or it has a big release on it. I do think it might have a small delay, which is kind of cool, because normally you don't think about delays on basses. But again, it could just be like, might not 100% be delay. I'm pretty sure it is though. I just think it's cool because like with the phaser happening and this little delay happening, I think all these little sound design decisions help lead to this kind of dreamy, kind of chill, sort of slower moving vibe. Same with the chords. Listen to those. I like how when they come in, you definitely hear them. To me, it feels like the lead of the track when it comes in, but it doesn't have a lot of high end. It's kind of sitting further back in the mix. And I think because it's not so in your face, because it's pushed further back, it again just helps have a more relaxed feel. If it was really up in your face, it might feel a little more like, pay attention to me, look at me, look at me, look at me. But instead, it's sitting back, and I feel like it's more like, yo, what's up? I'm back here. Check it out if you want. And yeah, same thing with the twirly synth. We get nice little delays on that too. And I think those delays in this instance just help out with the chill vibe. But yeah, that's about it, y'all. Pretty straightforward. Hope you like this video. Please subscribe if you do, and leave a comment if you have some cool, like, other people plays trivia or anything you'd like to talk about. Give it a like, tell a friend, and shoot me an email if you want the MIDI files. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and we've only got one more remaining to finish off this album. That'll be coming soon. All right, have a good day, y'all. Bye-bye.